Hello, my name is Sophia Schwartz, and welcome to the STEM with Friends podcast, where I discuss a variety of science topics with interesting guests. I hope you enjoy it.
So looking back, was there anything that you would have done differently in the drug development?
So, I mean, that's a really interesting question. With the benefit of hindsight, of course, you'd always do things. Yeah. But so here's the really interesting thing that you can observe. So pharma is full of like really, 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 really talented, smart, knowledgeable people. Like I was always like blown away by how deep the knowledge was in the specific subject matter areas when you go interact with pharma partners. I mean, they've seen everything. In some ways, though, that's kind of a funny impediment because you end up seeing so much, and you end up seeing so much that you see risk around every corner. Now, is there risk around every corner? Absolutely. But if you don't like take the shot, there are no drugs at the end of the day, right? So there's a reason why so much of kind of modern, new drug discovery, new therapeutic discovery has to come through kind of the biotech ecosystem, because it's honestly in part because they don't have all the lesson, the battle damage of the pharma hands who have seen everything and suffered as a consequence.
So is there any advice that you would give to new entrepreneurs or kids in their high school?
Aspiring entrepreneurs.
Who are interested in creating something or solving a solution.
Okay, so I mean, what you just said there is at the crux of it, right? Because what will determine your success as an entrepreneur is whether or not what you're working on is actually useful, needed. So I know that sounds sort of silly, but the reality is no. I mean that's often very difficult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Finding a product.
Product market fit. And this is outside of just biotech. We'll come back to biotech in a second, but like really making sure you understand the problem you're going after and why what you have in mind is going to help with it and is going to move the needle. That really is. Like if you start thinking a lot about like, okay, where are the problems and how are entrepreneurs solving these problems, and what other problems do I see that are potentially solvable? That's the entrepreneur's mindset. As for biotech specifically, I mean, it is an industry that requires a certain expertise. So if you're interested in life sciences, study a lot of life sciences. It's like take the bio classes. It's very hard to get exposure to real drug discovery, even as an undergraduate in college.
Really?
Yeah, I mean
You didn't have any undergraduates
because even most academic labs that are looking at therapeutics and doing kind of kind of the early stages of drug discovery, they're not really drug hunting, so to speak. They're mostly looking for preliminary molecules that can demonstrate that a pathway is druggable, but they're still so far away from having a true drug that can be pushed into clinical development that it's just very hard as a student to get exposure to kind of mid or later stage medicinal chemistry. It's its own discipline, and it tends to be done by commercial groups.
Yeah. Are there any other drugs that are similar to mitochondria?
To the mitochondria drug?
They're on the market or in production or in clinical trials?
That's an interesting question. I mean, honestly, no, not really. I mean, it's a pretty, in terms of that target, that pathway, ours was kind of the first
one,
to go in for that. How about you guys? I mean, are you interested in drug discovery? Do you keep this sort of stuff in mind as you go?
I really like the sciences, so I I definitely want to be involved in sciences and probably major in science in college. So I'm not too sure where my future will lead me, but we'll see, maybe. What about you, Alex?
Yeah, this summer I'm gonna do research on at Northwell on like the human vagus nerve. So
Sure.
yeah, so I'm excited to do
Kevin
that.
Tracy's been doing that work for what, 20
Yeah.
years? That's good stuff.
And after you sold Mitochondrion, did you have a plan for what's next? Do you have a plan
Well,
for
so
what you want to do?
I'm still involved with the other business.
Yeah.
So that's great. That's doing its thing. And I have some additional projects that I'm working on with a number of groups, and we'll see. We'll see if any of them come together. I mean, I think it's fun for me, having been involved in taking a drug from kind of the earliest stages into clinical development, just like the cusp of clinical development. To get back involved in projects like that. And it's actually crazy if you think about it, because the 10 years I put in is still only halfway on this journey to the patients in the marketplace. But that's a different story.
Any areas that you're interested in? Any other areas?
Oh, sure. I mean, so I'm a generalist, right? So I go back to that. I'm never going to try to pretend to be the scientist.
Yeah.
I can talk science, and I can ask specific questions of the scientists. But as kind of a finance / business guy, as an operator, I can actually span therapeutic areas more readily than people who are than the scientists who are expected to bring specific technical expertise around certain kinds of, say, assays, for example, and how you would prosecute a campaign in biology in some specific area. I'm involved. I'm taking a look at some cancer projects. Always interested in neuro stuff. So,
And if you were to leave one piece of advice to our community or the Greenville community, what would it be? What's your quote?
What's my quote? So I'll be honest. The entrepreneurial journey is a hard one.
Yeah.
And if you need me to give you quotes to motivate you, you're not going to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
have
right.
your own
all right.
motivation.
Yeah, right. You gotta really
Yeah.
want it yourself, right? Because it's I started 3 companies, 2 are exited one, which was Mitochondrion. One is the software business is doing well, and the third one was in financial services through the crisis. That one didn't work out, and it's all they were all challenging for different reasons, but all challenging, because starting companies is hard. And so you just have to be kind of possessed by a need to do it. Yeah, right. Because it's going to be a lot of tough nights, and somehow you got to keep going.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, if you're really interested in entrepreneurialism, I think willpower is
Willpower.
maybe the right word, which is develop that ability to persevere, because that's that more than almost anything. That stick-to-itiveness is what will make you successful.
Thank you so much for meeting with
Sure,
us
sure.
today.
Thank you so much for joining with us. We had a really nice time talking to you and learning about the drug, and we hope that you'll be able to educate others and maybe encourage others to start their own businesses.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, good luck to them all.
thank
you for coming.
Yeah, sure.